Good morning, everybody. So, today we'll be doing Act 1, Scene 2. In Act 1, Scene 1, we were introduced to the male protagonist, Antonio, and his companion, Bassanio. And in Scene 2, we'll be introduced to the female protagonist, Portia, and her attendant and companion, Nerissa. So, this scene, it takes place in Belmont, in a room in Portia's house. Now, there is a conversation between Portia and Nerissa, and let's see what Portia speaks. So Portia, she says, "By my troth, Nerissa, my little body is aweary of this great world." So Portia, she has been dragged into an awkward predicament, which makes her say that she is distressed and she is weary of this world. She is tired of this, anxious of this world, great world. Nerissa, you would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. So Nerissa, she disapproves what her lady says. She says that if your sufferings outnumbered your riches, then you would be miserable. Now you are not. For aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing. So she goes on saying that people who are overfed, people who have more appetite, they become sick and they are unhappy, like those who are malnourished and famished. They also are sick. Now, it is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean. So, according to her, happiness, it lies in moderation, not in extreme riches and poor. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer. So, here she says, people who have resources in abundance, they have more responsibility. Therefore, they have more stress, they age quicker. But competency live longer. But those who have just enough to meet their both ends meet, they have less stress, less responsibility, they have less stress, and so therefore they will live longer. So they are content, whatever they have, they are content in their life, so they will live longer. They are wise. Now Portia, good sentences and well pronounced. So whatever speech you made, it was well coined and well delivered. Now Nerissa, they would be better if well followed. So if you followed these guidelines, not only heard but followed it, put it into action, then it would be remarkable. Now Portia, what is she saying? She is replying her back. If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. So she is saying that paying heed to values like loyalty, honesty, humility, righteousness, it's simpler, okay, than adorning these jewels in your life, incorporating these values in your life. So on the whole, she wants to say that practicing is better than preaching. And if the world they practiced more than preaching, then it would have transformed into a marvelous place. So the humble worshipping place, it would have changed into grandeur cathedrals, and the destitute huts, it would have changed into palaces, into opulent palaces. Now it is a good divine that follows his own instructions. So he's saying that the clergy, the priest, is the only one who instructs throughout the day and follows whatever he says. So a good priest, okay, who is a good priest? A one who gives instruction, advises, and follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. So he's saying that it is very easy. I can teach 20 people. I can guide them. But to be one of the 20 of them and follow those guidelines is a task. It's not easy. So she's basically, in these lines, she has spoke about knowledge and action. How there is a lapse between knowledge and action. Now let us see what she speaks. So it's a monologue. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps over a cold degree. So she says about the brain, it's a higher faculty. So she is speaking about the brain, okay? She is speaking about the wisdom. The brain may devise laws for the blood. So the brain, it makes laws for the other lower faculties, lower emotions like passion, feelings, desire. But a hot temper leaps over a degree, such a hair is madness, the youth, to skip over the messes of counsel, the cripple. So the brain, it makes laws for feelings and desire, the lower faculties, but the lower faculty, which is passion, it ignores, it oversteps the laws made by the brain, that is rationality. So here basically Portia, she means to say that the willful youth, the rash youth, okay, he is passionate, he is fierce, okay, so he will overstep, he will trespass all the rules made by the wise men in this world. He will not listen to their good counsel. Why? Because he is filled with zeal, okay. So he is very passionate, he will not listen to the wise men, to the wisdom given by the wise men. He will overstep, he will trespass that. And then she goes on saying that this willful youth, they are like hair, they are fast, they are agile, okay, and they will leap over the good advice, which are like messes, okay, which are entangled. They are like messes, this good advice, which are slow, which are limping. So according to Portia, the youth who is rash, he will ignore the good advices and he will jump over that and he will pursue his life. And the good counsel, it is slow and it is limping, but it is permanent, okay, it is sound. So the rash willful youth will just overstep it, he will not listen to good counsel. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. But this is not applicable to my topic, okay? My topic is something different. So this doesn't apply in my case. Now, what is the topic? Okay, so I talked about an awkward predicament she has been dragged into. So it is that by her father had died and she had bequeathed a will, okay, she has inherited a will, and that suggests that there will be a contest, and in that contest it will be a contest of caskets, okay, gold, silver, lead casket, and the suitor who will choose the right casket will win her hand in marriage, and she is barred from choosing her husband. She is restricted to choose her. She can't choose her husband. Whoever will choose the right casket will be her husband. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. So she is lamenting that in this life she'll not be allowed to choose her husband. I may neither choose whom I would nor refuse whom I dislike. So according to this contest, she will not be able to choose her husband, or the outcome of this contest, whoever will be the her husband, whoever will be victorious, okay, and whoever will be her husband, she cannot refuse to him, either if she dislikes him. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. So her will of choosing or selecting a husband, it is restricted, it is barred. She cannot choose, just like the will of a dead father. So she cannot ignore or go against the will of her father. Is it not hard? So this is very difficult, very unfortunate. Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse none. So she cannot select a husband, or she cannot, if she dislikes the winner, the suitor who has won the contest, she cannot refuse him. She cannot deny him. Nerissa, your father was ever virtuous. So your father was honest, he was loyal, and he was righteous. Okay. And holy men at their death have good inspiration. So people who possess these virtues, when they pass away in their dying hours, they have some intuition, okay, they have some inspiration which is guided by the divine, okay. So he might had some inspiration, divine, because of divine intervention, and that inspiration was to save her daughter, to safeguard her daughter from the traitors. Therefore, the lottery that he had devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning chooses you. So that was the reason he had some inspiration and he devised this lottery, okay, this contest of 3 caskets, gold, silver, and lead. So whoever will read the inscription in these caskets, who will ever read the inscriptions well in these 3 caskets, will be and will choose the right casket, will be the winner and will be your husband. So this was the deal, this was the will. Will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who shall rightly love. So she's saying that your father, he had written in his will, whoever will be the winner of this casket, whichever suitor will be the winner of this casket, he will be loved by your father also, because an eligible person will be the winner. A suitor who will comprehend the inscription properly will only be the winner, and he will be also your father's favorite. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come? So you have met many suitors. So what feelings do you harbor about those suitors? Please tell me. Portia. So this is so we'll do today we'll do up till here, and in the next scene, in the next class we'll continue with the scene. Thank you.